I'm just the Uber Eats delivery guy. I don't mean any harm.
Says the guy who has his bow out.
You ever had this happen to you? You're in the middle of a stream, suddenly your camera goes out on you. If you're lucky, you've got a backup camera ready to go. If you're unlucky, then you just get a black box where your camera used to be. Depending on what's going on in-game, you may not even realize your camera has gone out on you, so you could just have a black box sitting there for your stream to stare at. For me, it was about 30 minutes before I finally realized my main camera had gone out.
Okay.
And of course, I just now noticed that my stream has my webcam, not my DSLR again. There we go.
As you can see, there's a lot of screwing around with the camera. You either have the black box, or in my case, I had the webcam ready to go, but it's a drastic decrease in the quality of the DSLR. But if you are running a DSLR, this is what's going to happen to you. After 30 minutes, it's going to shut down. With the method I'm going to show you, hopefully we can prevent that from happening and you can run your DSLR the entire time of your stream. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the application that we are using to get around the 30-minute timer is called Sparkocam. Let's do a quick Google search for it. It'll be the first thing that comes up. Right here, download link, right on their main page, nice and simple. Here are all the different features. The main one we're going to focus on is right here, DSLR as a webcam. Keep scrolling down the main page, and here's the list of all the supported cameras from Canon to Nikon. This is the main screen that you're going to be brought to. Now on the left here, we have the different drop downs for your Canon camera, Nikon cameras. If you have a webcam, you're going to capture desktop, recorded video, still pictures taken, and blank images. Because this software can be used to bring in multiple video images to output to additional software. You can also do different effects for changing your color, you're transforming your image, all these kinds of items here, audio, and then a gallery of saved video and images. But for our purposes, we're just going to focus on the first tab device for the Canon cameras. Unlike some workarounds that I've seen, the priority of hooking your cables up for this method doesn't really matter too much. The biggest thing is if you use an external recorder of your HDMI feed, it needs to go into a USB 3.0 slot. That way you have the necessary bandwidth needed. Once you have your HDMI plugged in, you need to have the USB cable plugged in as well, because Sparkocam is going to use the USB feed from the camera in order to control it and trick the 30-minute timer from turning off. And then you pull the clean HDMI footage through that cable into whatever streaming software you're utilizing. Once you have your camera completely hooked up and Sparkocam running, it's going to automatically recognize the camera plugged in. For me, it's the Canon 7D Mark II. Right below there, you have your exposure settings for your aperture and your shutter speed. Now I'm using a Rokinon manual lens, so I cannot control my aperture through the program, but I can do the shutter speed. Now you can either do the drop down here or just hover it and now use your mouse wheel to control what your shutter speed is. Same with your ISO, all the way down to your color temp and autofocusing modes. Now again, I'm using a manual lens. I can't do autofocus with this. But the big thing that allows the 30-minute timer to not kick in is this right here, the restart live view every 25 minutes. One of the reasons for the 30-minute cap on DSLRs has to do with the taxing for import-export of these cameras. Anything beyond 30 minutes needs to be taxed as a video camera. So DSLRs can shoot up to 30 minutes, but then they have to stop after that. Otherwise, they have to worry about the import-export taxing. Now, Sparkocam works in the background through the USB only of the computer, and it resets that timer at that 25-minute mark. You don't notice any interruption in your feed. All you're going to notice is that your DSLR is finally continuing to run beyond the 30-minute timer. Some of the questions that I could see being brought up is there's now this big Sparkosoft watermark right there on the camera. That is why we hook in the HDMI cord, because as long as your camera can output clean HDMI, there's no watermark there that you need to worry about. And now you can take this feed and pull it straight into whatever streaming service you use. Like me, I use Streamlabs OBS. So now that'll give you a nice clean HDMI footage without the watermark. So now that we got past the 30-minute shutdown of your DSLR, the only thing you have to worry about is powering your DSLR for the entire length of your stream. For me, with the extra battery grip for my 7D, I can get about an hour and a half to 2 hours if I use the stock batteries. You can also do an AC adapter, then you can get unlimited power for your camera. Now, I do time-lapse photography as well, so I took 2 of my larger drone batteries that I have and used that to then power my DSLR. The biggest thing is you need to make sure the proper voltage is going into your camera. For me, there's a voltage regulator already built in, and so I don't need to worry about it. But if you do any kind of DIY solution like I did, you need to make sure the proper voltage goes into your camera so you don't have to worry about frying it. So I hope this video helped you out. I know I pounded my head into the wall for weeks trying to get my DSLR to run longer than 30 minutes before shutting down. If it did help you out, please hit the like button down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe. And I also stream every Friday on Twitch. Link down in the description. I hope to see you there.
Out of ammo.
Just confirmed kill. We're outside the ring. We're ready for a world of hurt.
Where's the last one?
Already on my mark. Firing for effect.
I got an airstrike coming in right there.